you and I met as young men in our early 20s,
Yes.
maybe even 20. And I got a little picture here of the pagoda room.
Yeah.
That's
There
where
you
we're
go.
at, in that house right there. There it is.
Yeah.
We were both in college.
Yeah.
We
Well,
just,
you were in college. I was in the pagoda room.
you know, I wasn't going to bring that up. We were in the same place doing different things. And what drew us together was at the time, both, either one of us used to walk around with an acoustic guitar like all the time, everywhere.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of parties that way.
Yeah, you were doing bands and I was doing bands, and you and I used to go everywhere with our acoustics. We
Yeah.
just started going everywhere with our acoustic guitars. The parties, the parks. You used to sit in the park and play it all day long.
Bonfires. We were doing all these Beatles things and we were singing harmonies and stuff. That was a blast. I love that, man.
We did it constantly, right?
Yeah.
Moved into this house
Yeah, I recognize it.
and we established what became the ForePlay mansion. And we came in and we fixed up the basement like a stage, and there we are down there practicing there, and we practiced there, and we had righteous parties, right? I mean,
Oh God, legendary.
Hey there, baby, you know what I'm thinking of. I'm telling you, honey, I ain't got no money, but I'm sure we can live on love. And now you're saying you're leaving, but I'm not believing you. You say you don't need me, baby. That really sounds so crazy, it's true. But I need your loving. Yeah, I need your loving now. Right now. You're always coming and going. You're leaving way too soon. And leaving me stranded here, girl. You know it is rude. You know I love you. Yeah, I always have. I'll give you my loving, girl, like you never have. But time is wasting. Don't you hesitate. Give me the chance, girl, before it's too late. Now you see you're leaving, but I'm not believing you. Babe, you say you don't need me, honey, but that sounds truly funny, oh yeah. Cause I need your loving. Yeah, I need your loving now. Right now. You're always coming and going. You're leaving way too soon. Leaving me stranded here, girl, in the waiting room. In the waiting room. And you say you're leaving, but I'm not believing you. Can't be true. You say you don't need me, honey, but that sure sounds funny, yeah. Cause I need your loving. Yeah, I need your loving now. Right now. Always coming and going, you leave.
did it mean to you in 1987 to be part of this band and that group of people?
Well, the thing is, like you had said, when you were playing with Phil and that other thing, I was playing in other things. I'd always been kind of playing in other bands on it, but this was the first group that I was in that had a cohesiveness to it. In other words, we were all living together. We were, like you said, we were trying to live the rock and roll lifestyle as close as we could. We all had jobs, but not high paying jobs. We didn't eat well. Hell, I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor. I didn't even, that's all I had and all that. But we put all our energy into making this music and going out to play these gigs at, reruns, Hamtramck Pub, maybe the Token Lounge and whatnot for literally no money. But it wasn't about money. It was about the excitement of doing it. I mean, I had some aspirations at one time of being a rock star, that whole thing, but it came to be, it's like, no, like you said earlier, we met a community of other bands and friends we made along the way. And that was the most important aspect of it. And you talk about the house in the basement, uh, people would come over there from after shows. It was almost like an after hours club scene. And we'd have the salacious parties and stuff. And some of these bands would play for more people at our parties than they would at the actual gigs, and that was something, and we were able to play for more people a lot of times at our parties than at the actual gigs too at some of these places. And people would pay more attention there. And we were just background bullshit at like we might have been at some of the other clubs because, here we are, this generally an opening act for another band that ain't that big anyway, or wasn't that popular at the time. So, we got kind of, we were like, I felt kind of in the background, even though I tried, and I know you tried, we always put on a hell of a show. I didn't go out there to just stand there with a microphone and sing, or when I was playing bass, just play the bass and sing. I was jumping around. I was trying to really get into it, try to create something visual. And that's why I think, your name or your nickname, Johnny Jump, because you were right there with me. We were doing it together. We started out as a three-piece and stuff, and a power trio type of thing. Um, with Mark Phillo on drums and stuff, and in his words, we had this pounding sound and all this stuff. Matter of fact, at that house in that basement, we had these floor monitors, these floor speakers and stuff that were actually seduce monitors. Somehow he had picked them up. They were being sold at some retail shop or something.
I bought them. Yeah, they
They
were
were
just
actually
boxes of
seducers.
plywood.
Yeah, and those things were so, we'd play so freaking loud down there. I remember that we'd go upstairs after a rehearsal or taking a break or whatever, and the cabinet doors would be open, and sometimes dishes would be coming out. I'm like, holy crap, we were playing louder sometimes in that basement than most bands were playing live in the clubs. And that to me was exciting as hell. Because like you said, it wasn't just that you had built a stage, there was lights. We had a curtain there and stuff where, off to the side where the actual soundboard was. It was like playing a show right there. And there was enough room in that basement that people that stand up or sit down and stuff. It was crazy. It was great, a lot of fun. And we made a lot of money at some of those shows. Well, not a lot, but we made money on the returnables. And I remember we were drinking, we were so poor, we were drinking red, white, blue, the bottom of the barrel beer. And we make enough money on returnables from these parties to go down to the Farmer Jack's the next day and get, a couple more six packs and some bologna or some ramen noodles or something. And that was basically what we lived on and shit. And I was a lot skinnier back then, not super skinny like you, but I was a lot skinnier in those days, working at Harmony House. But yeah, no, that was a great time. Had a blast. I love that shot of me with the trumpet. That was great.
Oh my God.
Side 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's why I got back together with you guys. I tickled the fancy of playing together. I don't know if we'll ever be able to do that, but I'm like discovering other music, but revisiting the ForePlay songs.
Right. That's always going to be a part of you, whether you want it to be or not. You know, that was part of what do they call that? Your youthful growing years or whatever that brought you to where you are. You know, you got into it and stuff. I'm not taking credit for any of that by that measure, but we had a blast, man. Wasn't just a good time, but for me, it was a learning experience because being in a band like we were and actually playing out fairly regular like we did, you got to get along with people. And apparently I pissed everybody off. So it's amazing that I didn't get beat up. We were a family. We were a family, and families are there's infighting, there's dysfunctionality, there's all that. We're just a rock and roll band family. These bands I interview and stuff, they all have that too. It's not uncommon, at all, especially when a lot of it is, there's, people are coming from different backgrounds, different perspectives on what their goals are or things they want to do as far as music. Me, I love to play live. I love to perform. I love to get up there and clown around, as you know. And you used to freaking, egg me on most of that stuff. You used to push my buttons going, hey, I dare you to do this or do that, blah, blah, blah. and then other people would say, "You're an asshole. Why are you doing that stupid shit?" And you're standing in the corner just laughing, laughing. You set me up with so many things. You remember these?
Is it, what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
These were these little stand-up things that we had that we put on tables to try and build up a mailing list. You remember that?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, what I remember about this the most was because you got the picture there with me with the trumpet. Is we were playing one night at the Token Lounge, and we played there quite a bit. And we had a version of Nazareth's "Hair of the Dog." And in the middle section, I played the trumpet instead of the guitar. Instead of the guitar going dun 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 dun, I'd do it on the trumpet. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, at the end of the night, we'd go around and we'd collect these, these things and on the back there was a where you could put your name and comments. Well, on one of them, and like I said, I don't remember any of the others ones. This one just stood out. Was somebody had wrote, "If you can't play Nazareth, Hair of the Dog,
Give it up.
give it up." And I'm like, I just like, and I think that was a big thing was what we were trying to do, or what I was trying to bring into it, the humor, the lyrics of poking fun at sex and the lack of getting any, of course, from my aspect. And these bands that were out there, they're all pretty boys, they had their hair up and all this stuff. And we weren't really like that. I wanted to do something, have something with our band that would stand out. Good, bad, or otherwise, it didn't really matter. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, oh well, I'm still going to keep doing it. And that's, I think, what's the spirit of the band for the longest time. We pushed the boundaries. I remember a gig at the Hamtramck pub and stuff where you pulled one of your classic stunts on Mark. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I dressed up like a nerd and I
Yeah.
stomped tables. And I had
Yes.
outrageous amplification set up that was just so loud. It blew out the back window. And I'm surprised they didn't beat the crap out of me and throw me out the car.
I know because we would always close our set, obviously, with Johnny Be Good. And you do this long, improv solo and all that. And Mark, our drummer, Mark Phillo and stuff, who was always a bit uptight and a bit anal, everything's got to be this way and this way. He he would always look at me, and we had this eye contact where it was like, okay, Johnny's gone off into the twilight zone, and he'd get worried. I go, don't worry, Johnny will be back. He'll come back around. And at that particular show, I remember you had a long chord on your guitar, and you went off the stage. You were going down the freaking aisle by the bar. You might even jumped on a table. But that was like just one of the nights, one of the shows that we did that kind of stuff. And there were other crazy things. Me coming out in long wigs and inflatable love dolls and stuff. And some people thought we were just plain demented, or we didn't have a lot of music talent, so we were relying on the shtick, so to speak. Well, yeah, but to me, that was always real important because the bands I really dug seeing live were ones that could be visual, like Alice Cooper, Kiss. They didn't just get out there and play their instruments and sing really loud. No, they put on a freaking show. And of course, we didn't have the money to do any of that to that level. So we had to find cheaper alternatives to that. And I think that's what set us apart from a lot of the other bands and all that. But there again, a lot of people didn't get it. They just didn't get it. It was like the same with our buddy Nolan Boyd. Some of the lyrics that he'd write, it was like, boy, he's a cornball, or whatever. So what? It's different. I always went out looking for bands, that I could find that were different, that, stood out. And there were only a handful of them that were really like that. Yeah, and I went out and bought that, and it cost me quite a bit. I went out and got that PV fucking big ass motherfucking rig with the 400-watt bottom and the Scorpion or the 400 watt head and all that. And yeah, we were, constantly trying to get louder and more in your face. It toned down quite a bit when Mark left and we got Phil in, and I went to just being a front man. We started to do a lot. We were concentrating more on, covers and we do some of the original, but we're doing more covers because at that time I think we were trying to branch out into being more of a cover band, a showcase kind of cover band and stuff, and because there was potentially money to be made in that, and I really wasn't into doing that. I went along with it because whatever, but I always wanted to keep writing originals and do that and put on better shows, like when we would open up for Mad Hatter and stuff. Those guys didn't have a lot of money either, but they had stripper girlfriends that would come out and dance on their stage. Well, we didn't have stripper girlfriends or girls that were willing to do that kind of stuff. So we had to go out to the, to the shop and get an inflatable doll and have that on stage and stuff. So we were like the lower version of these bands that could afford to have live stripper type girls. And Mad Hatter loved us. They thought we were the best opening band they ever had because we were so fun.
Oh, well, most of those guys were pretty cool.
Yeah.
They were a nice bunch of guys. So they were really good too. They had their show together.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that, I come to find out that Rob, the guitar player, or he would play mostly rhythm. He wrote all that material. He wrote every bit of it, and he
He was
hated
a
everything.
super nice guy, man, and a great guitar player. Yeah.
Yeah. And I go way back with him because the first band I was in, which was called Renegade, back when I was a sophomore in high school, he was teaching guitar lessons to the guitar player I had, Gary, at the time in that band and stuff. And that's how I met him and stuff, so we go way back and stuff. So that was how, we got in with Mad Hatter to play those gigs because I reconnected with him and found out, oh, wow, Rob, that's you. And you go, oh, wow, that's you, Jimmy. And what's going on? I go, I got a band too. And he go, oh, okay. And he knew about my craziness. So that's how we got in with them. And we had a blast playing with them at Slammers.
I remember that. They were fun to work with. And there was some bar downriver we played with them.
Yeah, wasn't that Schooners?
Yeah, yeah.
With that pole in the middle of the stage, yeah.
Well, everybody had a pole.
Yeah, but this was we had a pole in the basement too, but it was funny that this pole just happened to be right in the middle of the stage, and it's like you're always like trying to dodge around this pole and stuff.
Looking at that pole, we put a white sheet and some duct tape on it.
Yeah.
Two people were running into it.
Yeah. A white flag, The thing about Schooner's Pub that was funny, and I didn't remember this until he brought it up, was, it was right on the river. And depending on the night and the wind, that place would reek of fish. And so you'd be dealing with, people drunk and people stinking like fish. Yeah.
All right, God. Okay. We're at the end of our time. I don't know if this has turned out as good as I envisioned it.
Well, it was cool trying it, but I appreciate it.
All right, cool.